Outdoor living might probably seem like one of the most beautiful lifestyle choices. There are plenty of YouTubers who love sharing their experiences of living in the outdoors in harmony with nature. While this lifestyle can bring you peace and inner happiness, it comes with its own challenges. One YouTube channel that goes by the name of Reliance openly talks about the joys and sorrows that come with living in the outdoors away from civilization. Sit back and watch as we take you through his life, family, projects, and secrets. Before we begin with today's video, however, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications and updates to never miss another video. With that said, let's jump right into the content. The man behind Reliance is none other than Shawn James, a man who is experienced and knowledgeable about living in the wild. Here are some amazing things that you might not know about the man who loves outdoor living. He loves his family. Shawn James rarely talks about his family. In fact, we rarely see his wife and two daughters featured on the channel. The only times that we see them is when Shawn uploads videos of his wife and daughters helping him out, either gathering firewood or making maple syrup. Shawn might seem like a man who loves living by himself, but he really loves his wife and daughters. He has often talked about how he's protective of them, sometimes being overprotective. Since he's such a big YouTuber, he doesn't want to reveal too much on camera. However, he did talk about his daughters quite a bit. His daughters are grown up and have boyfriends, and Shawn revealed that he wants to share his love for the outdoors with his future son-in-laws. He talked about how his daughters' boyfriends were in awe of his lifestyle and how they wanted to spend more time with him. Just goes to show that Shawn is an amazing personality. He also has some interesting advice for his daughters, boyfriends, and every other young man who has a girlfriend. He believes in sustainable living. Shawn James loves taking up a challenge. When he first decided to build a cabin in the wilderness, he had a goal in mind: to build a cabin that was sustainable and eco-friendly. James loves nature and he always believes in coexisting with it. His cabin uses solar power to generate electricity, and he makes sure that the habitat of the local wildlife and the nature is not harmed by him in any way. Last year he purchased forest land to build a new cabin. He loves exploring his surroundings, the lakes and the adjoining forests, by hiking and using his snowmobile and ATV. A philosopher who loves to teach others, Shawn has been living in solitude for several years now. Living among nature gives him peace and joy, and while he lives among the animals and wildlife, he often has some stories to tell. When he's not working or exploring, Shawn talks about how it feels to be independent and self-reliant. For those who do not know Shawn, he built his first cabin in the woods by himself, without any help from friends, family, or without the use of power tools. He believes self-reliance gives you the freedom and independence to pursue what you desire in life. His channel is a wealth of knowledge that you can gain by watching his content. According to Shawn, the most important factors that are important for self-reliance are hard work and health. You can't survive on your own without either of these two. He also believes that success doesn't always make you happy. There could be several instances in your life where, despite your successes, you'll want to give it all away just to be happy and at peace. Shawn's thoughts are quite intriguing and worth pondering over. Shawn has some great survival tips for living in the wilderness. Shawn has always been interested in the wilderness and has been living in the wild for years now. It's therefore safe to say that he's quite an expert at living by himself away from civilization. Over the years, Shawn has become an expert at fishing, foraging, hunting, and bushcraft. He loves fishing and regularly fishes at lakes and other water bodies when he's out exploring. There are quite a few times that he's been in danger, especially the forest he lives in has a high population of wolves. However, his love for the wild has prompted him to continue living with nature. Throughout his videos, Shawn shares tips about how to hunt. He has his own garden in the forest where he grows potatoes. You might not know this, but Shawn is an incredible cook. In the past, especially a couple of years back, Shawn uploaded some amazing content of him cooking food in the forest. He loves cooking over the fire, which he believes is delicious. Some of his best recipes include steak and fries, cheeseburgers in the forest, Moroccan goat, bannock, sourdough bread, wood-fired pizza, and many fish and game recipes. He believes him learning to cook was one of the biggest steps at becoming truly self-reliant. New off-grid log cabin. Finally, speaking of his latest project, Shawn is in the process of building a new log cabin in the woods. The project began in August 2020 and is still in progress. While Shawn has already done much of the work, there is still a lot to be done. In the latest cabin building episode, Shawn enforced the cabin walls with extra timber. Since he does all the work by hand without the use of power tools and mostly doing it all by himself, there's still a long way to go before the cabin is ready. Shawn is a hard-working man with the experience and knowledge required to survive in this world. His love for the wild and nature makes him a pretty unique content creator. and we're grateful he's sharing his experience with us. Well, that's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed watching this one. What are your thoughts on Shawn James? Don't forget to share your opinions down below. Thanks for watching.